we got this new neurologist right away after reviewing all her scans and everything. He said, "You have early onset Alzheimer's." It took my breath away, and it was, and it was hard to deal with it. But at least we know what we're dealing with, and that's when, again, one of the reasons, another reason why after researching the ARC, I decided this would be a good place for her. It gave me a break. It gave her a break from me, and so we really she's enjoyed her time at the with the navigation club. In fact, this week my wife did her homework without me. Usually I help her because there's some stuff I don't even know how to answer. So I just kind of have we have good days and bad days. That's the nature of this disease. But those are kind of things that really help me. Those programs are available for me to be able to help me cope with the day-to-day questions and situations that you just never know. The retro bash, that was a lot of fun. That really was. It was only 3 hours long. I wish we were hoping it would be longer. It was so those 3 hours flew by, and they did a really good job as far as they had a disc jockey. Me and my wife are music lovers, so that we enjoyed the music that was being played, and had those old cars, and some of the instructors were there. We got to talk to them on a one-to-one basis, where outside of the classroom for her. So that was a good thing. It was only 3 hours long, and we got to dress up. We got to dress up. My wife and I both dressed up a little bit for this occasion, and really, and I was looking at a picture we took there, and we said, you know what, we need to put that in our Christmas card this year. And she said, yeah, it's a good picture. Just crop a little bit. It's perfect in front of the truck. They had a real a vintage truck, a really nice truck, a beige. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And we took a picture in front of it, and I said that will be a nice picture for our Christmas card.
My caregiving experience began when my mother had a fall, and it was about almost 2 years that I moved in with her to keep her in her home because I knew she was used to her traffic patterns and her lazy boy chair and things like that. Her clothes were all there, and it was just a lot easier for me to go there. My husband and family was very supportive. But my caregiving experience is probably, I would say, maybe different than a lot of other caregivers because my mother was up in age. So it was not like a caregiver who is taking care of a loved one for maybe 7 to 10 years. But the caregiving involved uh, cooking, cleaning, paying the bills, companionship. My mother, for a long time, was still able to take care of her hygiene needs. Um, I took care of the yard. My husband came and helped. Um, so, toward the end, helping her get dressed. Um, those were basically the caregiving uh, duties that I did. I don't have any brothers and sisters, so it was me. I did have I did have a sitter come in twice a week, and I would highly recommend that. She came for 5 hours twice a week. That gave me a chance to go get groceries, pay bills, go to my house and clean up a little bit, and kind of take care of the needs of my family. I would highly recommend that. My caregiving experience began when my mother had a fall, and it was about almost 2 years that I moved in with her to keep her in her home because I knew she was used to her traffic. It helped me in that I was trying to keep my mother in the game of life, and I wanted her to be with other people, in a social situation. Um, Even though we still went to church for quite some time, and she was around her friends there, that was a big help as well. But I wanted her to have contact with other people. I wanted her to be engaged um, mentally, socially, uh, playing games, doing puzzles, things like that. And she enjoyed it. She liked coming up here. She did tell me, however, that she did not get to see me. And I said, well, I'm there. And the ruse that I used was I told my mother I was taking a class up here. And I was in the back. And she was okay with that. Um, and I said, they take real good care of you, which she told me they did. She said, I would oftentimes pick her up and she'd say, oh, they're so good to you. And one day she told me, she said, I had the best peaches today. And then one day she told me, I met a friend. So that made me real happy that she seemed to be content, entertained, at peace with being up here. I felt like it helped me a lot. It gave me a chance to just kind of catch my breath um, with the caregiving duties. It helped me in that I was trying to keep my mother in the game of life, and I wanted her to be with other people in a social situation.